Hi everyone, how are you doing? Please don't mind the rain sounds behind. It's summer but a very rainy day here in Curitiba. Today I want to talk to you guys about a channel called Beyond the Frame. They did a well-intentioned YouTube video trying to analyze the Brazilian movie The Secret Agent. Despite being well-intentioned, the reading they did about the movie was a bit reductive in my opinion. That's not really their fault, because it's very hard for you to do a deep reading of something in a 10-minute, 15-minute video, right? But I would like to take this opportunity to talk to you guys about The Secret Agent. It was literally my favorite movie last year, and I think that although it was well-intentioned, that reading from Beyond the Frame ends up being a bit simplistic, And that's because they try to do a totalizing reading of the movie using a single key. And that keyword would be corruption. That thesis is something that's even present in their thumbnail. After seeing that video and thinking about The Secret Agent, I had to respond to it, I had to do that because I think that the movie goes way beyond corruption, It's not that corruption isn't there, it's certainly an element of the movie, but the true themes of the movie were blatantly ignored by the guys doing the analysis, the crew of the Beyond the Frame channel. As always, this video here is an adaptation of an essay that I wrote. The video is kind of sloppy because I'm not really a video maker. I'm trying to do these videos here to get you to go to my website or to my Medium page and read it. So I'll leave the link to the text that I wrote, both to my blog in Portuguese and in my blog in English for you guys to read it out. Read it out for yourselves. So, trying to summarize the points of the Beyond the Frame thesis, they say that the movie The Secret Agent can be understood as a movie that's talking about corruption in three levels. There's first the social corruption that's shown through the brutal inequality between the rich and the poor. Then there's state corruption that shows corruption within the police, in the repressive apparatus and the state. And there is also individual corruption that is represented in the movie, in how people are individually flawed, right? It is, as I said, a very well-intentioned reading, but it really bothered me because it tries to simplify the movie. The Kleber movie, The Secret Agent, is about many things more than just corruption, I'm talking here as a Brazilian. I'm from the south, I'm not actually from the northeast where the movie passes. I'm not from Recife. But I think that being a Brazilian, I can identify the themes a little bit better than maybe someone from the US. And as I said, it might not be their fault. A 10-minute video, you just don't have enough space to do a very deep reading of something as deep as The Secret Agent, right? I think that the main problem with this reductive viewing of the movie is that when corruption is a totalizing concept, the analysis empties the movie of its meanings. The dictatorship, instead of being part of the scenery, it starts to be just a moral backdrop. Also, the political violence, it is just another kind of ethical failure, But the thing is that as I see the movie, I think he does the exact opposite, He doesn't try to moralize the questions and the flaws of the people it represents, It actually focuses all the times on structures. The film is constantly asking us who has power, who can kill, and who gets to control the narrative. And that corruption reading is kind of turns a profoundly historical movie into something more generic and abstract, So what is the real theme of the secret agent if it's not corruption, right? Well, in my viewing, corruption is part of the environment, but not the theme of the movie, you know? As part of the environment are violence, fear, and cynicism, right? I think that the true engine of the movie and what moves the plot forward is another keyword, you know? Although I don't like to reduce anything to keywords, but I think that a better keyword for that would be memory. And now I'm going to do some spoilers of the film. If you haven't watched the movie yet, I highly recommend that you go watch it. Because Kleber Mendonça's Filho movie, The Secret Agent, is a movie that is very, very, very good for you to watch without knowing what it is about. The movie unfolds in front of your eyes as a viewer, and it's nice to watch it not knowing what to expect, right? I'm not really against spoilers, you know, but in the case of this movie, I think it's better if you watch it without spoilers. So now, with spoilers from now on, okay? So, why do I say that the movie is about memory? The first reason is because the narrative alternates between the dictatorship past and the fragment present of research. The movie tells the story of Armando, who is a man that died during the dictatorship, and his story is one that can only be understood when it's too late for any justice to arrive. In that sense, Armando is not just another victim of corruption, of a corrupt society. He's actually someone who, a father figure, a friend, and a body, a real person that is a victim of the dictatorship. The film doesn't show us his dad because it's trying to emulate this incomplete file, you know, something that's very common with Brazilian dictatorship victims. They have an incomplete story, like Rubens Paiva from the other Brazilian Oscar-winning movie, I'm Still Here. We don't know what happened to him in details, you know? That's a crucial point of the story. Another thing that puts memory as the central keyword is the fact that Armando dies precisely because of his desire for memory. He is hiding in an identification institute trying to find his mother's birth certificate. So memory is something that perpasses everything in the movie, every character. And the movie finally asks us, who has the right to write memory, to control the narrative? To give you a bit more of context, unlike Argentina and Chile, Brazil never had any National Truth Commission. We had an amnesty law that protect the regime operators. And when we tried to do a National Truth Commission, it was kind of sabotaged, you know? And it was sabotaged precisely by an obsessive media-driven narrative about state corruption. If you guys know anything about recent Brazilian politics, I'm talking here about Operation Car Wash. During Operation Car Wash, a moral crusade was done here in Brazil. So that's when I see an analysis saying that the movie is a denunciation of corruption, I can see the very mechanism that was used during Operation Car Wash being repeated there on the analysis, right? That's another reason for me to not like it. But I'm getting on 10 minutes and I like to keep these videos under 10 minutes long. So to sum up, in the texts that I'll leave the link here in the description for you to go read for yourselves, I use Jessé Souza analysis in the book A Elite do Atraso, the Elite of Backwardness. In it, I bring the concepts of real corruption and corruption of the fools. Because this discourse around corruption is very old here in Brazil. Something we hear since childbirth, practically. And this idea that we are patrimonialists, that we can't differentiate between the public and private spheres, is something kind of offensive, you know? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you go read the texts. As I always say, I'm a writer, I'm not a video maker, so I'll leave the link here in the description. Please go read it. If you can follow me on Medium, because I'm already with 130 followers there, and it would be nice to have more. And if you haven't watched The Secret Agent yet, please go watch it. It's way better than any analysis, okay? So if you get Till here, thank you for watching and goodbye.